Gentlemen, let me speak to the core of your struggle for just a moment. You've been in situations where you feel the tension in the air, where her laughter lingers longer than normal, where her eyes hold yours just a little too deep. But inside you, there's a storm of confusion. You don't want to misread her signals. You don't want to step into rejection. And you don't want to live with the regret of missing that one moment when she was ready to pour herself into you. Every man, at some point in his life, has faced this silent battle, the uncertainty of knowing when a woman is not just present with you, but inviting you deeper. And the truth is, women rarely say it directly. They show it. They open the door in whispers. In body language, in subtle cues that only the attentive, grounded man will ever see. This video is not just about attraction, it's about awareness. It's about understanding the unspoken rhythm between you and her. If you're a man who's tired of guessing, tired of missing out, and ready to stand in confidence with clarity, then listen closely. Because I'm about to reveal 6 powerful emotional cues that tell you when she wants to pour water. Gentlemen, the first sign you must master is the energy shift. Because women rarely come out and say, "I'm ready." No, instead, they speak through the atmosphere they create around you. Think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed how, in the beginning, her tone might be casual, her words light, and her vibe playful? But then, suddenly, without warning, things begin to feel different. She slows down, her laughter softens, the rhythm of the conversation changes. That is not random. That is intentional. A woman who is ready to pour water doesn't need to declare it with words. Instead, she changes how she shows up in that moment. Her body relaxes around you. Her voice takes on a more nurturing tone. The speed of her speech slows, almost as if she's allowing you to fill the silence. Why? Because she is inviting you into her world, a world where words matter less than presence. Men often miss this because they're too focused on what to say next, or they're overanalyzing, waiting for some grand obvious clue. But the truth is, women communicate in energy long before they communicate in action. She is shifting into intimacy mode, and if you are blind to it, you'll keep treating her like a casual friend when she is already offering you much more. Let me make this plain: when she feels safe, when she feels like her feminine side can finally come forward, her whole aura changes. She stops competing, stops guarding, and starts softening. That softness is not weakness. It is the deepest invitation she can offer you. And this is the point where a man either rises into his masculine presence or fumbles by ignoring the moment. So here's your job: stop living in your head and start tuning into your instincts. Feel her energy. Notice when the banter suddenly feels more personal, when the room feels smaller, when time feels slower. That is not your imagination. That is her shifting into connection. Gentlemen, the energy shift is like the opening of a hidden door. If you learn to recognize it, you'll never again be unsure of whether she's inviting you deeper. Miss it, and you may never get that chance again. Gentlemen, if the eyes are the windows to the soul, then lingering eye contact is the doorway to her desire. A woman can smile at anyone. She can laugh with anyone. She can hold conversations all day long. But when she holds her eyes on you longer than necessary, that is not an accident. That is an invitation. Most men underestimate the power of eye contact. They think it's casual. They think it's surface level. But women know exactly what they're doing when they allow their gaze to linger. You see, a glance is accidental, but a gaze is intentional. And that intention is where the truth lies. When a woman wants to pour water, she doesn't always speak it with words. She says it with the way her eyes cling to yours, like she's searching for something deeper, something unspoken. Sometimes it's quick flashes of vulnerability. Other times it's bold and unwavering. But here's the key: it will always feel different. It will stir something inside of you. It will make you feel seen. Men often fumble here. They look away too quickly, they overthink, or they break the moment with nervous laughter. But what she really wants is for you to stand firm in your presence. She wants you to meet her gaze with confidence, not with insecurity. Because in that moment, she's not just looking at your eyes. She's testing your soul. She's asking, can this man hold my intensity? Can he handle my vulnerability? Can he stand steady when I show him I want more? Gentlemen, don't ignore this. When she holds eye contact, she's stripping away the noise of the world and focusing on you. That is sacred. That is powerful. And if you can recognize it, you'll never again doubt whether she's open to you. So the next time you feel her eyes lingering, don't run from it. Don't break it. Lean into it. Hold her gaze with strength, with calmness, with assurance. Because the truth is, eye contact is not just about attraction, it's about connection. And in that unspoken silence, she's telling you more than words ever could. Remember this, a woman may lie with her words, she may hide with her smile, but her eyes will always tell you the truth. Gentlemen, let me tell you something you cannot afford. To ignore a woman's touch is never random. When she wants to pour water, her body will speak long before her lips ever do. And one of the most powerful signs you'll ever receive is the way she touches you. Not the accidental brush, not the polite handshake, but the touch that lingers. Think about it. Have you ever felt her hand rest on your arm longer than necessary? Or maybe when she laughs, she leans into you, her fingers lightly pressing against your shoulder, her hand refusing to pull away too quickly. That is not an accident. That is a message. You see, touch is deeply intimate for a woman. Women guard their personal space carefully. They don't give it freely to just anyone. When she allows physical closeness, she is lowering her defenses. And when she lingers in that space, when her fingers pause, when her hand traces instead of taps, she is telling you, I feel safe with you. I want to be closer. But here's the truth most men miss. It's not about the touch itself. It's about the comfort behind it. A woman will only linger if she feels trust. If she feels your presence as strong, grounded, and protective. That's why nervous, fidgety energy kills the moment. If you panic, if you rush, if you overthink, she pulls back. Because what she's looking for is a man steady enough to receive her feminine energy without flinching. Gentlemen, understand this. The lingering touch is an invitation. It's her testing if you're paying attention. If you're present, if you know how to lead, it doesn't always mean leap forward aggressively. Sometimes it means slow down, breathe, acknowledge her gesture, and mirror her energy. Because women communicate in layers, and touch is one of the deepest layers of all. So the next time she brushes your hand and doesn't let go right away, or her hug lasts a heartbeat longer than expected, don't chalk it up to coincidence. Recognize it for what it is. Her way of stepping into closeness, her way of saying, I'm ready to give you more. Never ignore the touch that lingers. Because in those quiet, almost invisible gestures, she's telling you everything you need to know. Gentlemen, one of the most powerful signs that a woman is ready to pour water is when she begins to test you with her vulnerability. You see, for many women, opening up is not easy. They are used to being judged, misunderstood, or even dismissed when they reveal their softer side. So when she begins to let you in, when she starts sharing secrets, insecurities, or pieces of her heart that she doesn't just hand out to everyone, that is no small gesture. That is a test. Here's what most men don't realize: vulnerability is her way of asking, can I trust you with the parts of me I don't show the world? If she shares a painful memory, a hidden dream, or even a quiet fear, she is handing you emotional currency. She is giving you access to a side of her that requires protection, not exploitation. And this is where many men fail. Some brush it off with jokes, some change the subject out of discomfort, and others try to fix her feelings too quickly. But what she really wants is not a solution. It's presence. She wants to know that you can sit with her truth without running, without judgment, without making her feel small. This is what separates boys from men. A boy hears vulnerability and panics. A man hears vulnerability and sees an opportunity to connect on a deeper level. When you respond with patience, with empathy, with quiet strength, you're telling her, your truth is safe with me. And when a woman feels safe to be vulnerable, her walls come down. That is when she opens fully. Gentlemen, never underestimate this. A woman who shares her vulnerability is giving you more than just words. She is giving you trust, and trust is the foundation of intimacy. Without it, there is nothing lasting, nothing meaningful. So pay attention. The next time she tells you about her childhood scars, her silent battles, or her secret desires, don't dismiss it. Don't rush it. Hold it. Because the vulnerability test is not about her weakness. It's about your strength. And if you pass this test, you'll discover that her vulnerability was not a barrier at all, but the very key to her heart. Gentlemen, One of the most overlooked signs that a woman wants to pour water is the space she creates for you. Let me explain. Women are naturally cautious about who they allow into their personal world. They guard their time, their environment, and their energy carefully. But when she begins to clear space, physically, emotionally, or even in her schedule, understand that she is doing more than just being polite. She is inviting you closer. Think about it when you're around her. Does she silence her phone, turn her body toward you, or lean in while you talk? That is not random. That is intentional. She's cutting out distractions so you can have her full attention. A woman who wants to pour water makes room for you, and room is a valuable currency in her life. Sometimes this shows up in small ways. She shifts her seat closer in a group setting. She slows her pace so you can walk side by side. She chooses to sit across from you instead of at a distance. Other times, it's more profound. She rearranges her time to see you. She makes excuses to extend the conversation, or she lingers in your presence long after she could have left. Here's the truth. Women don't just give men time and space unless they feel drawn to them. If she keeps carving out these openings, it's her way of saying, I want you here. I want to see what you do with this opportunity. But here's the challenge. You have to honor that space. Too many men either crowd it with desperation or fail to step into it at all. If you push too hard, she'll retreat. If you stay passive, the moment will pass. The balance lies in awareness, recognizing that she has opened the door, and then entering with calm confidence. Gentlemen, pay attention when a woman creates space. It is her silent way of telling you that she trusts you enough to let you in. And trust me, that space is sacred. If you don't step into it, another man will. So remember this when she clears the noise. When she removes the barriers, when she makes room, it's not by chance. It's her way of saying, this is your moment. Don't miss it. Gentlemen, sometimes the most powerful message a woman gives you is not in her words at all, but in her silence. This is what I call the unspoken yes. You see, women are masters of subtlety. They often won't directly say, I'm ready. Instead, they show it in the quiet ways they respond to your presence. Think about it. When you lean closer, does she lean in too? When you touch her hand lightly, does she allow it instead of pulling away? When the conversation slows, does she stay in the moment with you instead of looking for an escape? These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. These are her silent ways of telling you yes. The unspoken yes shows up in her body language, the way she tilts her head, the way her smile lingers, the way she holds her breath for just a second when you move closer. It shows up in her stillness, in the way she doesn't resist, in the way she allows you to take the lead without hesitation. A woman who is not interested will create distance. A woman who is open will create space for more. That space is her unspoken yes. Here's where many men go wrong. They hesitate, they doubt, they second guess. They look for verbal confirmation when her entire being is already giving them the answer. Understand this, gentlemen. If she is still there, if she is leaning in, if she is not resisting, she is saying yes. Now, this doesn't mean you move recklessly. Respect is always the foundation. But you must learn to trust what she communicates without words. Confidence is not about waiting for explicit permission. It's about recognizing the energy she's offering you and responding to it with strength, clarity, and care. Gentlemen, the unspoken yes is sacred. It's not loud, it's not obvious, and that's what makes it powerful. It's her way of saying, I trust you. I'm ready for you to lead. And if you miss it, you may never get the moment back. So the next time she doesn't pull away, the next time her silence feels like an invitation, don't question it. Recognize it. Because in that stillness lies the truth every man needs to hear her unspoken yes.